Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to bring you another evening of Racing in Silly Seasons Racing League for season number 5. It's round 7 from Canada on the Ile de Notre Dame on the circuit de Villeneuve. And we are looking at the 7th out of 16 races, so almost done with the half of the season, heading next to Monza in Italy in 7 days' time for the second full qualifying session before we hit another week of a break. And obviously tomorrow's Division 2 is also racing for round number 7 in Canada. We look for what has been happening 7 days ago in Hungary. Andy Andre took a close but still undoubtedly strong victory with the fastest lap again in front of the Williams pairing with Moksha and Fellison. Then Andrew for Aston Martin in 4th, Energetics 5th, demoted by time penalties. Kovatska, then Scott as a reserve, who had his first appearance for a long time now. Takengino, then Race Chase, usually the reserve driver. Rowley took P10 in front of Quincy P11. Both had to pit very early on, extended with the hard tire in the middle of the race, and then followed through with that second pit stop. They were the first cars to be lapped by the top guys, and you can see that Race Chase also got the time penalty for not pitting the second time. Jonathan in 12th in front of Krankjorg Veroduko with 2 very important points for Haas, and Ibo with 1 for a V-Cup as he took 15th. Then Ingene, a DNF. Bevish did not finish the race, had a collision and a spin, I think. Then Diego Truckster, who made his reappearance as a reserve driver. And Iron Ghost debut didn't last 2 corners. Very unfortunate. Let's see if he races today and if he can improve on his result. And he takes a staggering lead of 29 points over Moksha. 4 wins on the bounce. Is obviously helping with that. He needs to be beaten by any of these guys, and that now or very soon at least, and then comprehensively, so loses some points. Fallison with another podium finish after not being on the podium in Baku. In third there. Control did not start, will probably not start for the rest of the season. Andrew now up into 5th as he beat Quincy, who suffered after a spin on lap 1, and there was no safety to regain big positions. Race Chase in front of Rowley, who moves up. Kovatska moves up, had a strong race as well. Krankjorg stays in 10th. Robastian not racing anymore, down to 11th. Jonathan, then Energetic, up by 7. Kwan did not race last time. Takagino, second points finish in a row. Rush will be taking place as reserve tonight, I think. Pleasant Snake, Vincenzo, Diego, and Veroduco. Endo, sorry. Williams lead Mercedes, and then it's McLaren, but they will not score any big points with control anymore, so that's going to be probably a fight where they need to watch their mirrors, as Aston overtook Ferrari by 1 point ahead now. Then Alpine 2 points out of Sauber, with Vika moving up and passing their sister team in Haas. I said some points on the board, but they're gonna be struggling throughout the season. Not a very fast duo, but they did try, and you should commend them for that. And we will be moving to the track map for today's race. It's the 14 corners in front of you with 3 DRS zones. And the newest one added between turns 7 and 8. Not really a passing opportunity, very tricky and yeah, hard to manage sector in terms of overtakes, especially out of these chicanes or into the chicane. Yeah, should have been reversed maybe. Fast chicane in, slow out, but yeah, that's what we have to work for. More downforce required for the first sector. This is also very short, and yeah, does not have a straight in it basically. But if you can pass someone into turn 13, and because you have the double DRS, because you can see DRS detection zone is right after turn 9, so you get a DRS for both of the straights, and then you have the opportunity to get away before they or before the car behind you gets another DRS opportunity into the third zone. It's yeah, packed with chicanes, four to be exact, and a very interesting pit lane with a short entrance that is very dangerous and a very good exit in terms of saving time. So yeah, 2 stops gonna be very favorable here. Rear tires are gonna be lit anyway, so let's see what the drivers come up with, and I'm interested to see that in the next minutes as we head into the race session. And it is raining for the 18 minutes of Q1. I need to turn up the volume a bit so you can hear shit. Okay, so we are underway. Some people are already out on the track. And we have 20 drivers, including the return of the lost son. It's Daryl back to F1 racing after a very ugly foot injury after an accident at work. He is back racing with Red Bull. And race chase is again reserved for Sinful. But he's also out on the track right now. Everyone is on the Inters. As I said before, Russian Series at Alpine is a reserve as well. And it's gonna be running alongside Scott, who is a reserve. I hope I'm not mixing that up with the other split. Let me check. Oh, no, he is not reserve here, sorry. I mixed it up. There's no reserve in this one. In the other one. My bad, sorry. So, full-time driver, Russian Series is partnered today with Scott. He's a reserve since last race. Rolly is a reserve for Ferrari. And Quincy coming out of the pit lane right now. Then we have Andrew, who's already on his first attempt. And he is partnered by Tak and Gino, who moved to this team 2 races ago. Then we have Energetic, close to the podium last time. Also at the time penalty. As Darius is the fastest lap. Usually the first out on track. And he has continued to do so. So Ibo took one final point, as we discussed. There is Diego. And he's partnered by Kovačka. As Energetic puts in the fastest time and is immediately beaten by the Rain Master himself, Allison. Time and time again, you will hear me and why is David in the McLaren? Because Iron Ghost is missing. Okay. So that's Jonathan and Danger David. Don't know where I put the full name here. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if he can make the best out of this qualifying. Expect these drivers to run multiple laps. He has some fuel in his car to give this a shout for longer, as Andy is currently in 6th position. So for McLaren, Jonathan and reserve driver Danger David, as Moksha goes to 2nd. Then we have both Haas, Vero, Duku and Engine, and Krankyuk and Andy Andre for Mercedes. The usual after Bosnian Helmet left. And obviously most prominent duo right now with Moksha and Fellison at the wheel for what is the Constructors World Championship leaders in Williams. It's Quincy's first time is in, but is only good for 13th, which is bottom of the pack. Next to Temper Daryl moves into P5, finds over 5.5 tenths as Diego completes his first lap and he's even slower. Andrew across the line. Is he gonna start a new one? And yes. It's gonna stick with that. Who was next? Fellison improved his time by 0.4 of a second as the first Haas is out, and yeah, that was Moksha who's starting another attempt here. Next across the line is Andy, takes to 3rd, and then Danger David into P1, 18.8, first guy below the 1 minute 19s as Kovačka is gonna fire off another attempt here. So does Tarkin Gino, it seems. Rowley over the line, completing a lap right behind Quincy. P8 now. 1.5 tenths found only. Usually the less fuel you have left in the car, the more you will find time to improve. Just checking if the data is recorded. Yes, okay. Very important for later. Oh, and there's a spin by Daryl. Bit too trigger happy it seemed. And a spin by Moksha as well. Happens to the best, I guess. Energetic into the final turn. On this rain soaked day, 1.3 seconds slower. Veroduko to P15 at the moment. Krankyuk into the pit lane. That time was invalid. And that's full weights. That's the wrong tire. Full weights are useless. in the 2024 game. And that's an invalidation for energetic. Don't think he wanted to try another attempt there anyway. And he also in the high 19s is now up into 3rd position. Carlson's next attempt is coming up right now. Let's go on board with the Hungarian, who needs to be cautious of that slow moving horse. Oh, that's slow. A lot of understeer. Let's see if he yeah, he's pushing. 9/10. Don't think he's gonna try to complete that one. Oh! And Diego crashed. What car is next? Aston Martin. Left hand side. Exit out of 4. 2 throttle happy. And then just slammed it into the left hand side. And Gene is gonna finish this one. Oh yeah. There's certainly an increase in spray and overall weather, so might be the case that no one will improve further than this. Andy also, yeah, Feddersen is calling it a day. I think that might be the pole position for energy for Danger David, because you can see there's a lot of water now, and there's another spin here. And Jonathan didn't set a lap time, which is going to be haunting him now. And I certainly get 2011 vibes from the amount of rain. Good effort by Danger David. Could be setting him up for what is a great opportunity to take a win here. Yes, you can fight on this track, but it costs you a lot of time, so if anything, David wants to probably get by, go ahead and lead by over a second, and then not to worry too much about that, or maybe even keeping it safe, keeping it clean. Track penalties will be an issue for tonight. And let's see the onboard of Jonathan here. 19th on the grid for now, no time set. I think he can beat some of these guys who set a weaker intermediate time, but he made life a lot harder for himself than it should have been, and his teammate played that to perfection. And he's not pushing it flat out, a lot of understeer here. No grip from the car under braking. Using the airs now. Car steps out. Might be a sign for too much front wing. Or overall the off-throttle diff is rotating too much. Already 2 sectors done as he's approaching the fine chicane. Energetic is out once again. Yeah, 38 should be beatable. 25 I think also he goes the shortest way to the line, which he doesn't, and he's 15th and 1.1 seconds behind Quincy, who is out on the inters again. And Energetic abandons that lap after a huge tank slip at the exit of 2. Probably the trickiest traction zone to get right. In medium speed left into a slow right with an uphill rise that is very small. And the car does not have any grip there. As you can see, Targentino has demonstrated that. And Andrew is also trying to cope with that. I don't know how much of the washout effect this game is simulating, but honestly, one of the hardest turns to get right on this track. Especially the more your tires are worn out at the end. 2.5 minutes are left in the session, and I'm pretty certain there won't be any change at the top. So Ibo still out there. Lap invalidated again. Not much going on right now. Race chase starts another one. Scott, there's Targentino. Quincy is faster. There's Mercedes spun round. And that's Shankok, and he's been disqualified again. So P20 for him. As Engine made it over the line. Slower by some margin. Next to Crossline is Scott. 2.5 slower. Energetic 10. But seems to be starting another lap now. Rolly starts another lap. Reducus 6 seconds slower. I think nothing goes wrong here. There's no answer by Andy. Oh wait, the rain he has eased off again, so maybe David is at risk, but not for now. 2 tenths. There was certainly more water 5 minutes ago on the track. So I think, yeah, it's only dripping now. That might be the best time for the Inters right now. You can see that David has started his final flying attempt. And Andy is still 9 tenths behind and has no fuel. As Moksha cuts across the grass. So Energetic next to cross the line. 2 tenths could be his reservation for the second row. What can the Dutchman do? Celebrated his birthday yesterday, but doesn't celebrate a second row start today. Let's see about a podium. Maybe Rowley does not improve. I think the Inter is certainly the right choice for tires as of right now. Andrew next across the line is going to finish off his lap. And there's an invalidation from Moksha as we discussed. Andrew over the line. Jumps to P4 by half a second. Very well done. Can Daryl give a great comeback here in qualifying? Currently P7 is also already an achievement. Jumps to P5 on return for Red Bull. Quincy over the line. No improvement at the end there. Certainly sad. But that's it. David's time was enough. And that's certainly a surprise because that was looking like certainly an improvement in terms of weather, and some drivers did prove that. There is gaming in the chat saying water lap. Certainly, my guy, and I hope you can back that with some race pace. Although I know it's probably going to be hard to get back to into the rhythm. But you have certainly a good track here today. No real tire saving needs to be done. Just don't cook the rears from lap 1 and just go flat out racing and you should be fine. David takes pole position in front of Fallison, in front of Andy Andre. That was... Andy had 4 poles before today. He's not gonna add 1. Andrew, then Daryl on return, Moksha, Energetic, Rowley, Russian Series, Race Chase, Scott, then Scott's got Tarkingino, Quincy, Veriduko, then Jonathan left it way too late and wasn't even on the right tire in GNC Evo. And then we had Diego who crashed and Krankyok who was disqualified. And we are starting at right the hour. So 3 minutes to go. And it's a dry weather start. Some clouds in the air, but only a bit cloudy for tonight, for the moment. So let's talk about some of these statistics. I've forgot to add that Rowley got the driver of the day. So Andy has 7 race starts. Shankok is here today as well. Then with Quincy, we have Rowley, 6 starts. Daryl is back with us again, so that's start number 2. I don't see him on my list. Yeah. Race starts. Am I mistaken? What am... No, Daryl and Race Chase. Okay. So Race Chase is the Red Bull. So Sinful is probably his reserve. So Race Chase moved to Red Bull, but I don't know when that was. Was last edited Saturday. Synth was not even reserved, so retired. Okay, that's good. And then we have, that's no reserve then. Race Chase. Yeah. Jonathan on 6 starts. David on 2. Then we had Andrew, Tarkingino, Scott, Rush, Energetics, Ibo, Diego, Kova. Haas drivers have 6 and 7 starts, which is nice. Harrison and Moksha. 7-2 Danny. Whole season. Okay, we are ready to go. Glad I could get this done in time. And we are looking at just a couple of more seconds before we start this one. Oh. We go to 5 red lights for the Canadian Grand Prix as David is fighting Fellerson into turn 1. But no, he's in fact not. Andy is already challenging Fellerson, but that turns to the outside of turn number 2 up the hill now. Already a collision at the back with Tak and Gino falling down the order. What's happening there? Couple of cars with positions lost as Ibo goes down to what is now P19. First group has been already splitted as Quincy has Krankyok for company, but had lost 2 seconds to the guys behind. Quick look at tires. Daryl aggressive with Rolly and Rush on the softs, but at the back we have 4 guys on the hards, so very split, and Ibo has already received the 3-second time penalty. It's quite unfortunate as we see Rush and Rolly fight as we go. Oh, and that's a late move onto the brakes by Tak and Gino, it seemed. But all good for now as the top 4 head into the final chicane for the first time. Almost said it the wrong way around. This Fellerson trying to get by on David. He needs to. His championship rival should be behind him for as long as he can possibly manage to do so. Well, as long as possible, basically. Jonathan already 3 seconds. How do you do that? Fifteen turns, basically. Maybe 16 to get 3 warnings. That's quite the achievement, I have to say. So watch Fellerson go down the inside of on Danger David as Rush passes Energetic. I was looking at both of the names at the same time in the timing tower. Not the smartest idea as the DRS is open for the first time and they make it 3 wide into the final chicane. Andy on the inside. Can he take 2? Into 1. He cannot. And Andrew is close behind. Has had a great race in Hungary to finish 4th and now is fighting the pole position holder and the former race leader in Danger David as Moksha has a fierce fight with Rush, with Daryl and with Energetic now as the Red Bull stays ahead for the moment and Fellerson wants to get on with it. 7/10 in terms of the gap right now. Krankyok also with 3-second time penalty. This is going to be a long afternoon for some of these drivers. We have 5 already on penalties with 3 laps into the race. That is certainly an interesting feat. And my nose was tingling. Rush is leading this train, as we can see from Moksha's perspective, who did not have a great qualifying and seems to be out of the question for the positions on the podium as of right now. As Quincy was fighting Jonathan but couldn't get it done really. Not so sure about that one. And Scott was there in a race chase with a 3-second time penalty as well. As the top 4 stay the same. And Rush has lost an additional 8 tenths. Both of these cars in 5th and 6th on the fresh soft tire. No dry tire was used in qualifying due to the weather conditions, so they all have fully fresh sets, and that is a time penalty that's gonna be hurting later in the race. Already 3 seconds also to Moksha. So that is certainly an interesting way to see if other people will be standing on the podium tonight. Andrew certainly has a chance. And is there a chance for Andy Andre now to take the lead of the race? Seems like it. 4 wins on the bounce, and he leads again in Canada after only 4 laps. David does not seem to have the race pace, as Rush is not challenged into the final chicane at the end of lap 4. And Moksha is chasing and fighting with Daryl, but the outside line 4-1 is not really the one you want to be on, because even if you have space on the inside, the outside seems to be packed with more traction. Fallison is looking like he wants to get by again, as turned down the AS, is currently on 60% charge, where Andy's on 90, and that fighting inside of these chicanes is not helping them. And Andrew has lost touch, so he's going to be losing touch once again probably. And you can, it's safe to say that these top 3 are not really his caliber at the moment, but he's certainly forming that best of the rest pack as Felderson retakes the lead. And Moksha on Daryl. Oh, Daryl with a late move to switch up the lines for braking, but lost out. And Energetic might be challenging for his position, and he does so into turn 1 before they apply the brakes. He's over half a car length ahead of the sister team in the Red Bull, as there is Rowley to the pits. Going for the medium already. Was he... didn't he start on the hard tire as well? No, softs, okay. So very early stop from Rowley to get a nice set of boots. The ones with the yellow sidewall. And that's a nice undercut you can create here. And you can see he's already at the back of Viroduco. So yeah, short pit lane. I think total time between 18 and 19 seconds time loss. So netto time loss is probably less than that. Around 16 maybe. As Fallison has not been re-overtaken by the cars behind. And Moksha wants to put more pressure as Daryl heads into the pit lane, and Scott receives a 3-second time penalty, and Moksha goes for it, taking P5 off of Russian Series. Quincy also into the pit lane, it seems, but he was on the medium tires. Daryl mediums, Quincy hards. Yeah. Gonna be interesting. And Daryl is crucially ahead of Diego. So very good decision making there from the Red Bull pit crew. And overall the strategy they want to apply for now. Let's look into the sky. Yes, I would say still the same level of clouds. As Energetic has taken Rush into turn 10. I think the Alpine driver wants to be heading into the pit lane soon. As Fallison and Andy Andre as well as Danger David continue to brawl it out. Different line taken by the McLaren reserve driver there as Scott heads into the pit lane. Rush excuse me. Rush has stayed out, which I find baffling. Soft tire at the start beyond 8 laps Does not sound like a good idea. It's probably going to be losing that DRS as soon as Race Chase has been hit by another 3-second time penalty. And there is ahead of Scott. Oh, there was a mistake by, yeah, and that's what I was talking about. Rush had a mistake, lost the DRS to the guys in front, and is now under pressure from Kovacs gun Race Chase. Where, yeah, none of these have pitted yet, but yeah, Rush is not gonna be in the fighting group later into the race. He's gonna be losing contact to Moksha, to Russian Series. He's gonna lose contact to Energetic, Moksha, and Daryl. Where the later pitted already, and David hits the front end plate of. Oh my word! Did some carbon fly? Did some carbon fly? Did he let him through again? It seemed like it. Very late move by Danger David to take second off of Andy Andre. And it seemed like there was contact with damage to the Mercedes. But at least not from the outside visible to us. Oh my word. And that made them lose the DRS to Fallison, who has the chance to take a win off of Andy Andre and break that streak of 4 wins on the bounce. I don't know what the most amount of wins in a row is for this league, but it hasn't been 4, I can tell you that. I think well, hard to compare. Moksha is in front of Daryl by 2.4 seconds and is on a hard tire as well. Just made his pit stop. And Rush on the hards as well. Oh, and there's a spin! David spun! Exit out of 2! And now Andrew is back at the podium positions with Energetic probably hot on his heels. Both have not made a pit stop yet. They're required to do 2. And Andy Andre has spun it! What is happening? 2 of the front running guys have absolutely lost it out of the traction zones at the exit of 2 and at the exit of 7. And now Fallison is certainly gonna look like the favorite to win this one. What a dramatic turn of events, as Energetic has already closed the gap down to Andrew by almost 1.5 seconds over the last couple of sectors even. The Dutchman, celebrating his birthday yesterday, is going to take the Romanian for 2nd place before they apply the brakes for the final chicane. And then there's an immediate answer to that. Both of the drivers in front of him have spun. And it's time for some fresh rubber for the Aston Martin that was in 3rd place. As Kovacs and Race Chase are fighting it out. And Andrew is into the pits onto hards. David has stayed out despite the spin. That seems like a mistake. This makes tomorrow extremely interesting, certainly. But there still can be safety car interferences. And that would throw a spanner in the works, especially if you just pitted already. Because then you have have a proper advantage at your hands in terms of track position, and you need track position as Tak and Gino, Rush and Rowley fight into turn 8. Rush next to the Ferrari. Oh, sorry, wrong button. And he cuts across the chicane, and there's Rowley into the wall. So he has certainly lost the car going into the chicane. And Rush gained that position beforehand, so don't think that was fair and justified to stay ahead there anyway. Race Chase still out on track. And he had a penalty for not serving 2 stops. And Fallison with a pit stop even ahead of Race Chase, so he has lost some huge time. He was inside of that pack we watched fighting before, and now I'm interested to see. Andrew is 1.5 behind Moksha on very low ES, so that's gonna be an opportunity for Daryl, who is already inside of the DRS window. Crank York up 14 positions. I can't keep track of all these check limit penalties, but has not pitted yet, so Energetic needs to clear him now. And he's trying to do that into turn 8. Is the top speed enough for the B-Cup driver? Heads into turn 8 first and gets by. And Energetic will be joined by Danger David into turn 13 probably, because he's gonna be taking that Mercedes into that final chicane on this lap, as Engine has retired his car. And there's a move by Daryl into what is now 4th position. Andrew mismanaging that DRS, seemed to be very late on the brakes there and maybe cutting the inside line of turn 13. Probably a warning there for the currently 5th place Aston Martin, as the slow moving retired vehicle comes out onto the track again, but luckily no one is really hindered by that. Wow, Andy Andre is down to 12 on hard tires. He needs to pit again. Some of these drivers haven't, including the guy he is chasing and wants to overtake soon, Tak and Gino, with Krankirk, his teammate. Also Race Chase not pitting. I have not pitted yet. The Reduco is now into the pit lane as the Mercedes moves to the inside. And he hits a bit of the extended wall there under the viewers bridge where you cross between the islands. Fellison leads from Race Chase, who has not made a pit stop once again. Leaves it very late and is certainly at risk of getting another time penalty. And Krankirk into the pit lane now. Very far-fetched first stint, but you kind of want to do that with the hard tire, obviously, since that's one of the best race tires, even with a 2-stop being mandatory. And I'm interested to see what kind of idea Race Chase is having for strategy. It could be another new guy on the podium. Daryl is still being chased by Andrew. Moksha having 3 seconds, but his overall race pace being better than the one from the Red Bull behind. Also his tire will outlast the charging Red Bull. It's half the age and also the harder compound, so interested to see that, as David is now fighting Energetic and Russian Siri, we can't see it, thank you. Russian Siri and Energetic now behind Danger David, as now Race Chase takes to the pit lane onto a set of fresh medium tires. And what has happened? What? That was Ibo, okay. And Scott with another 3 seconds. Taking Gino into the pit lane, huh? It's gonna be interesting. 10 seconds between the Williams guys. Moksha has made good use of staying out of trouble. Was in 7th before all of the chaos with Danger David. And Andy Andre, who is now into 9th position. And if he doesn't finish on the podium, it would be the first time for him inside of the season. And only Moksha, if it stays like this, will be the sole remaining. Okay, the clouds have completely overshadowed the racetrack now, so maybe there is a late period with rain involved. Maybe that's why Race Chase was extending so much and now decided to swap his tires. Maybe some of these drivers on the softs wanted to do the undercut with the tire because rain was gonna hit anyway, and you kind of wanted to take the mediums into the halfway point, which we are currently about to reach. Is Daryl locks the tires into turn 6, and Andrew is looking like he wanted that position off the Red Bull into that turn, but the slowing down and him running into the back slowed himself down, so that didn't work really well for him. Moves out to break the slipstream, but obviously no chance. But they're really here to defend that. Andrew makes it smart, puts himself on the inside line, and then there is gonna get eaten alive by David as well. No DRS on the second straight for the Red Bull, as there's only one detection zone for both of these straights. And there is Andy in close proximity to Scott, and he will be looking at the back of the train very soon, so podium is still very much a possibility. Can't count out Andy. And also, if rain hits, it's a great equalizer, and the big advantage can be chopped off if your car is set up correctly. I'm always trying to check if rain's gonna hit the cars, and you can see that in the onboard first, as David now takes third off of Andrew, and there is overtaken by Rush, and he's hitting for that pit lane entry again. So maybe he's expecting no rain, as Energetic now overtakes Rush as well. And he's going for that hard. He's going for that hard. Final pit stop for Daryl. Certainly trying to undercut all of these guys. Kind of worked before, and he has some clear air now. Behind the already lap car of the Ivo goes around the outside, so he has some nice fresh boots and a lot of clear track in front of him, as Kovatska seem to be fighting race chase. Just let someone through here. Was there damage? I don't know what's happening. Cuts across the chicane. No time penalty. And hits the wall there. Seemed a bit on purpose. Or there's maybe a technical issue on the wheel or whatever. Quincy took Jonathan for P16. Oh, what is Race Chase doing? Just go to the pit and retire the car if you don't want to race anymore. What is happening? Oh, there's a spin! Who did spin there? That's Scott. Scott spun, and there's front wing damage to the right hand side of his end plate. Oh, that's massive damage. That's huge damage. And Race Chase is going again, and Russian C gets a 3-second time penalty. Just over half the distance completed. Put the car also to less fuel. And Race Chase has indeed retired. No idea what really happened there. Jonathan with another 3-second time penalty. Scott has heads into the pit lane for that damage front wing, I assume. So let's see what's happening there. Daryl needed a squeeze through on his retired teammate as Quincy gets a 3-second time penalty. And Gina's left. And Jonathan wanted to go into the pit lane, but then bottled it, it seemed. Maybe locked the brakes too heavily. David has caught up with Moksha and brings along Andrew, Energetic. And currently Rush is chased down by Andy Andre. As there's a pit stop from the Williams driver. And that's certainly going to be the second hard tire. Good choice, in my opinion. Let's look at who still needs to pit. Diego needs to pit twice still. 19-lap-old hard tires. Interesting. So only Moksha, Daryl and Rolly, as well as Scott, Quincy and Jonathan stopped twice, but in terms of the bigger picture, Moksha and Daryl, these are the most interesting people to watch out for. Energetic dives to the inside of turn 10 to take third place off of Andrew. They need to respond to what Moksha has been doing in terms of strategy soon, I expect. No, they're gonna be extending to the medium, I think. As Rush pits again. Medium tires can go 30 laps, so pit stop now or later than... Yeah, no later than I think 3 laps from now is a very sensible decision, but you are obviously at the undercut risk. Let's see if Daryl, with no ERs left, managed to do that undercut. No, Rush is ahead, but obviously has cold tires, and with these weather conditions, no sun, out on track, you're gonna be fighting for some tire temps. This Energetic is almost out of the DRS zone. The DRS window for David. And Quincy has called it a day inside of the pit lane. Not a good day in the office. Allison is in the pit lane now. Will be coming out on track next to Andy Andre, I think. No, even ahead. Allison is a pit stop ahead of Andy. That is... yeah, that's gonna be a tough one. But nothing Andy will be worried by. Just interested to see who takes the third at this stage. David looks like the most reasonable answer, but if anything happens, then Andrew or Energetic will take it. Oh, and as I say, that slight lock up by the Dutchman. Yeah, medium tire soon, I would say. There is lost Russian Siri, obviously no real ERS to use here as well. Andrew follows Energetic into the pit lane, so David is staying out. There's a spin by Sir Ibo, but nothing major. So let's look at Daryl. Yeah, that's gonna be tough, buddy. No ERS. Recharge needs to be happening inside of these chicanes. With I just continue to press the overtake button as Rush takes the fastest lap of the race for now, and with that the point. And Moksha is actually behind Energetic 6 on older tires and harder tires as well. And the sun is coming out a bit, so I don't expect any rain to hit the track within or for the last 10 minutes. And Moksha is taking Energetic into turn 8 as Andrew is up, is on the brink of losing DS again, and then it sorted itself out. Rush lost a bit, and Daryl, the undercut didn't work with your management, it seems. So David at risk now to be undercutted by Moksha and Energetic, who now retakes what is currently 4th place on track. As with the McLaren of Jonathan in our picture. Moksha back again. And that is Fallison in front of Andy Andre, and then Danger David. But let's cover 3 seconds. Moksha has the warmed up tires. Needs to get closer to David. But he completely misses the apex of 6. And now Moksha's podium is at risk because he is in 5th, what is basically 4th, and has a 3-second time penalty with 2 drivers not being behind him. Already not on the podium. That is gonna be a hard task. As Andy now pits. Energetic and David went to the mediums. Andrew as well. Moksha on the double hards. Strategy needs to be, but he's gunning for that longer breath and maybe a second chance for his tires. As Andy is out in 7th, and Daryl is losing or has lost big time, but is certainly going to be 8th. Good job on the return to racing, but I think the ES management was your undoing today. Don't push with solid ES, because under 15 or 10 you're gonna lose engine power, and then you think you're slow, and then you want to push more. Just a continuous downward spiral. As this is gonna be our main focus. Can Andrew get 4th here? Can he get 3rd even? David looking like he's gonna be 2nd to Fallison. Moksha is probably going to be losing his positions to Andy, his position anyway to Andy as well, because he's about 5 seconds behind the Williams driver and has fresher medium tires and no penalty as of right now. But he doesn't have any DRS, so maybe if they work together smartly or can find a way to work together, that's gonna be their chance, as Scott has overtaken Kowalska. Just a couple of guys without a penalty. Diego has made a stop 4 laps ago. Also not really working strategy here. Is inside the points. Is he benefiting from Crankworks penalties? No. Okay. When he's pitting for the 2nd time, he's gonna be in front of Veroduco anyway, and there's no time penalty, so for now looks like a guaranteed 4th place, as Andy Andre takes the fastest lap of the race away from Rush and gets the bonus point that will be, at least in its current edition, no longer available as soon as we hit the track for the Australian GP in I think 3 weeks time, so can't really read it from here on my calendar on the wall. Yeah, Moksha, I don't know. Tough one. Both Moksha and Andy looking like they're not going to be in the podium. Oh well, Andy can still battle through and fight Energetic. And Energetic needs to be aware that he cannot be losing too much time when fighting these guys. He's certainly third at this stage. And he gets himself a free second time penalty. So Moksha's on the podium back again! Oh no, he's not, because it's now Andrew's time. Oh no, Energetic, no, not like this. It was your birthday yesterday. It could have been a glorious present to yourself. That's sad. But it's not over yet. So Moksha, yeah. Moksha will be fighting harder now, since his position is 4 position. Andrew needs to be aware that he cannot lose too much time and should be allowing Rush to pass him. Andy has not closed the gap. I think the DS chain is currently working well for them. Has the freshest tires, but he's using them to play catch up to them, so no tomato ketchup. I mean catch up. If Andrew gets a time penalty and Andy gets 4 positions handed for free, I'm gonna be mad. Don't do that to me, please. And Andy's has chopped down the time, as there was a spin by Scott. And there's a 3 second time penalty to Danger David as well! Oh no! Oh no, and Russia's overtaken Andrew, and now Andy is fighting for more lap time gained per lap, down to less than 2. Oh my word. He's gonna get second. He's gonna get second now. He's gonna get second now. If Andy passes Andrew, certainly podium for the Romanian. That is inside the Mercedes, not the V-Cup. The Aston Martin, sorry. Andrew, please calm your nerves. As Rolly has a spin. Oh no, yes, he had a disconnect. He has a disconnect. No fucking way. I need to see if I can invite him. Do I have him? No. That's great. So Andrew's chances are off now. Why is Rush pitting? Rush has retired. Why? Why are you retiring from P7? What is going on? Why? Just why? Jesus. Okay, I guess I guess it's on then. Andrew is gonna be taking Moksha's position any second. It's gonna be so close. It's certainly third, at least third for Andy. If they fight too much, which they probably will. Can they... What is Diego doing? Go your left. I was way too much fighting. Still hasn't done his final pit stop. Okay. Guess you're desperate now. Oh, that hurt. That hurt for Moksha. An energetic isn't in the range for DRS for the car in front. So 4th place to Andy for now. Yes. Not 3rd. Not yet. Roli has a nice gaggle of cars behind him. Kovacs has front wing damage to the right hand side part of his car. And is still out tractioning Roli. But couldn't complete the move and then moved across Scott. And then Tarkin Gino hit him. Nice domino effect there. Because Kovacs decided to peel into the lane once again. And Scott retired into the wall? Did he crash into the wall there? Yeah, well. Or maybe he retried on track, but it didn't seem like he did that on purpose. And he has 3 tenths until he's inside of the 3 seconds from energetic and will take 2 extra points and a step on the podium as well. No time for safety car. Yeah, no. But it looked odd when looking at the track map. But certainly, or most likely, a crash into the wall. And Ibo will score points just by keeping it on track. Yeah, but he's still lapped, so he needs to unlap Rush now. Oh, and Energetic has overtaken David, and he's out of the race because he's been hit by Moksha as he started to get back onto the track, and there's no podium finish here for him. And with that time lost to Moksha and to Andy, who has also lost part of his front wing, Energetic is gonna stay second. What a dramatic ending on the start of the final lap of this Canadian Grand Prix, as Fallison is about to win it in the final sector already. Oh my word, what a chaotic turn 1 there. Completely lost it under braking from David. And now they're limping home in 3rd and 4th position as Fallison takes an unchallenged race win in Canada with Energetic. 100% gonna be 2nd position here for him. A delayed birthday gift to himself. And now Moksha's gonna be off the podium for the first time. But Andy Andre stays on the podium with David throwing it away last second. Andrew has a great race to finish it off in 5th. As Daryl on his return is gonna finish in 6th with 2 late retirements by Rush and by David, and Sebo is out of the points because he was lapped so many times, or too many times. Truck York is through in 11th, Diego in 12th. Next across the line is Rody, another excellent reserve start for him. David will be motivated tomorrow, certainly. Kovatska 8th, 9 is Tarkin Gino, and Jonathan takes some points for McLaren. David even stayed in 10th because the rest of the guys were lapped. We'll take that, been too long. Oh my word. And Kranjok is driver of the day. What on earth was that? The streak has been broken. 4 wins on the bounce for Andy Andre as Fallison takes the win. Energetic finally on the podium. Fastest lap to Andy Andre, who gets a late call up to the podium. Moksha 4th, Andrew 5th, Daryl, Dan Rowley, Kovaska, Tarkin, Gino. David stays in 10th. I have no idea what the retirement rule was again here. Kranjok from 20th to 11th. Diego did do his second stop. Tarkin Gino didn't do his second stop, so even more points for Kranjok. Veroduco finished it. Good points for us again. Jonathan struggled again. Scott retired. Seibo, then Rush. I don't know why he packed up early. In 7th, Quincy. Race Chase and Engine. What a race, honestly. What a race. Well, we've got a lot to go through tomorrow. I will see you then. Thanks for streaming. Yeah, no worries, Dave. See you tomorrow. Oh my word. What the fuck? Can't believe what just happened. Our drivers are already here for some interviews. Let me get this game closed so I can fit more on my screen. And we're gonna be putting this aside. And I need this one.
Herman, just quickly, did you get quali results? Because I opened the app late.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you.
No
Cheers.
worries. So I want to bring up this one here. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, this and this. Alright, just straight into some reactions from the drivers. Obviously, race winner for tonight is going to be Fallison in the Williams car. Obviously, Fallison, I don't think you expected to be that much ahead today, but honestly, there was a crazy race to be certainly good for watchback for you later. So, how was the race from your side? How did you prep for it, and how easy did you think it was going to be after two rivals started to spin out at the end of the first stint? And just give me your overall feelings after this fantastic win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super happy, and congrats to everyone, really. Yeah, I was looking forward to a really sweaty race and lots of hard fighting, but luckily, David and Andy, I don't know if they came together or something, but they really slowed down, and then I think they both had a spin as well. So yeah, I was just praying that there wouldn't be a safety car, because that I don't know if I would have been able to keep them behind. I did manage it for a couple of laps in the beginning. That was surprising enough. But yeah, I'm pretty sure tomorrow is going to be a very different race.
Yeah, looking forward to that. You have been the last guy to finish in first before Andy started to win 4 races in a row. Now you're the one to cut off his streak after today. Obviously, when we've been talking about how much pressure you and Moksha have been putting onto him, especially last time out in Hungary as well. You guys always seem to be just half a step or maybe a step behind him. His qualifying pace is always very strong, and your overall target must be always maximizing the points for the team. If more slip ups happen, then you are back in the championship fight. But for now, what is your current motivation, your current goal to work towards to? Because every time you're in a race, you seem to be gunning for a podium, but every time it's a bit short to Andy. Last time it was below a second. Now you are just looking at very fortunate timing of a spin for him and still delivering a good race from your side. So what's your motivation going to be for what is going to be the second half of the season after Monza next week?
I mean, the motivation has been pretty clear from the beginning. I think we have a very good team with Moksha, and I think we should be focusing on that because, like you said, this was just a mishap. It's not in Andy's character to keep making incidents or having spins or something like that. So yeah, P2 P3 is where I'm at. His raw pace is just better. I did practice, probably did 60 laps in time trial this week, to try to get close to him. I don't know if that helped, but like I said, in different environment, maybe tomorrow you will see the real pace and the difference. Hopefully it's going to end the same, or maybe not end the same, but we can fight until the end. But yeah, it's nice to have 2 wins with Andy in the league.
Certainly. Looking at one major factor for tonight was obviously going to be track limits. How was that for you tonight? Did you have 2 warnings? Did you have none? What was your total for tonight?
So I had 2 warnings. I had one mid race and one near the end of the race. I don't know. I was super focused on trying not to get the penalties. I'm not sure if the weather helped me because I struggle a lot with the shadows on the track. If it's really sunny.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that helped, but yeah, I am very surprised that I managed to finish the race without a 3-second penalty because all my practice races before, I always ended up with 9, 12 seconds. So yeah, I don't know. Just kept focusing on what's ahead and try not to make mistakes.
Okay, looking at one final question, what is your expected result maybe for Monza? Is it a better track for you or a weaker one? How do you rank that compared to Canada today?
I think it's better than Canada. Probably one of my favorite tracks. I don't, because there is so little amount of corners on the track and it's mainly straights. It's quite easy to stay with the people ahead, and with the DRS, it can be anyone's game. But I have been proved wrong before, and I have seen people just drive away on a track where I felt really confident. So I don't know. I feel happy about it, but we will see next week.
Okay, looking forward to that one, and obviously to tomorrow. Wishing you the best of luck, and see you in 7 days' time at least for Division 1 again.
Thanks for streaming as well.
Yeah, no worries. Moving on to our belated birthday kid with your celebration of the birthday yesterday, Energetic. You gave yourself a belated gift today and took a 2nd place. That was certainly gonna be a tough task. I think ahead of the race there was a bit of weather in the qualifying, and then lots and lots of penalties with Andy closing in the later stages. And we have to be honest here. If there was no fuck up by David as well, I think there was certainly a different ball game to be had at the end of the 35th lap there. But obviously doesn't take away from your achievement today. How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling good. It's a really belated birthday gift, of course, but I had some archie-barchie with some people and I felt bad about it, but I had, on lap 1, I had 2 warnings, so I have 29 laps on no warnings, so I was happy. And what Fellison already said, it's just, I had difficulty on the smoke on some people, where the corner was, it's like darker going to corner E and the smoke. it was difficult to judge that. And of course, if Andy didn't held up by Moxia, I was P3. If Endo didn't disconnect it, I was definitely going to be P4 because I didn't have the base to be in the podium today. But I'm happy.
Yeah, that was certainly a tricky one to navigate. Looking at your last race and with this great result today, you've been climbing the ranks. Last time you managed to get 7 places inside of what is now P13 ahead of tonight's race. So you've been on this upward trend inside of that top of the midfield group, and now reaching into positions where when the top guys have fuck ups, you can benefit from that. What is like this? What is the second half of the season after Monza coming up? What is that offering you in terms of races, especially the tracks? Are you liking them? Are you not liking them so much? To maybe continue this climb, because you have been at the bottom of the constructors championship as well for some time now. Have now moved up into 8th as well. So the trend is slowly graduating towards the top. But can you keep that? And if there is the calendar helping you with that?
I'm trying to take every race at a time and not looking far ahead because Monza is one of my better tracks. But last season, or not last season, maybe 2 seasons ago, I practiced Monza quite a lot and then it went bad. So I'm like not thinking about it, not practicing it maybe a little, and just going in with no expectations really. I really want to just be consistent. That's what I'm trying to do. Be consistent to get the least penalties every race.
Okay, then you also mentioned that's a good track with Monza next time out. What do you think is going to be your focus, if you can maybe give a summit for maybe what you want to do or what you don't want to do for tomorrow in the second division for the Canada race?
Maybe be less aggressive than I was today in the final stages. And of course, don't get 2 warnings in 1 lap. That's not a great deal to do.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, congratulations again on your second place, and hope to see more
Thank
of you
you.
on the podium in 7 days' time, at least for Monza.
I will try.
Okay, then moving on to 3rd place. Andy Andre, first time not on the first 2 steps, and obviously win streak has been broken. What happened there with your spin? Were the tires just done already, or was it just a lack of concentration? What happened with your spin there? Andy, are you with me? Just give him a second. He fell asleep because he's not used to. There
No,
he is.
sorry. I have some trouble with the app. Couldn't unmute.
Okay.
So I'll go again. I've been talking with myself for a while.
Okay.
So I think you meant the first incident when I spun around. Yeah, I was just used to following Fellason in P2, and when David attacked and gave me a bit of a shove, I lost a bit of focus. I pushed really hard for the first time in the race, and I lost it and hit the front wing. So yeah, nothing major, but it made for an interesting race from there on.
Yeah, you had to go through the pack, the traffic, obviously, lots of different tire strategies playing out. And obviously the forecast or over the weather wasn't great for certain tires at stages. So you made your way through, then you come to that point where you're on the fresh mediums, everyone ahead has pitted, some time penalties, some coming in. you just try to claw through the pack again, get at the back of them. Did you feel like you had to use a lot of your tires? Because obviously when they're in the DRS train, they can just, if they make easy passes and don't fight too much, they obviously don't lose so much time to you. And obviously with 6 laps to go, there was a certain amount of urgency for you. Did you just feel like, okay, you can outpace them, and what you've seen from your dry pace before gave you some confidence, or did you just try to get back into the rhythm and in the last stage where you just can completely push the car to the limit and just maybe go a bit more of a risk to go back to the group? Or did you just play it completely safe, had a head down, and just completely try to focus on also not maybe getting penalties at that stage as well?
Yes, mostly I try to take it easy. I know hitting the wing again could have been really easy. So, well, yeah, I didn't push too much, but traffic was fine. I came out after my first stop in pretty much no man's land, so that was a bit of the only luck I had today. And yeah, I'm not sure what I would call my pace after this race. Not confident I would have been the fastest out there anyway without the 2 incidents. But still, considering how much preparation I gave this track and the fact that it's not really a good one for me anyways, I'm happy to be on the podium. It's really couldn't ask for much more than this.
I was certainly alive, and I was always almost couldn't believe that with you and Moksha, the only guys still remaining to have finished areas on the podium, that almost happened in the same race that you were both of it. But let's see. Next up for this division would be on Monday in Monza. What kind of expectations do you have for that track?
Again, it's not one of my greatest track. I know I've had a pretty tough beating last time out from Rush Naziri. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, I can get some decent points. But yeah, for sure, my strongest tracks are later on in the season. So those are the ones I'm counting on for a few more wins if I can manage it.
All right. Yeah, looking forward to what you can produce tomorrow as well. Maybe getting the better off of some unfortunate moment here today, and obviously what will be happening at the final race of the first half of the season. And again, it's a full qualifying session as well. And yeah, looking forward to what you can produce there. Thank you again for your insights, and see you next time.
Yep. Thank you very much. Thanks for streaming. See you next time. Bye.
Yeah, thanks. That has been it for today. Check out the Division 2 race tomorrow, and we want to be looking forward to what these guys can produce. Obviously, in maybe similar fashion. There was some rain today in qualifying. Maybe there's some rain in the race. David is going to be your usual main commentator with the POV again for tomorrow on his channel, twitch.tv/gdave11. If you want to check that out, and this one is going to be live on the YouTube channel soon. I hope you enjoyed this one. My name has been Herman the German, and see you next time for Division 1 in Monza. Have a great night.